What happened in Jasper was an absolute off-the-chart catastrophic event.
On July 24th, 2024, this is what Jasper faced.
We're in a community and we're looking at flames that are coming towards the community. That was pretty scary.
A wildfire moved faster than anyone could have imagined. Embers rained down, winds surged.
And then it got really crazy. Got, I'd say, almost like midnight dark all of a sudden. And the winds were just crazy. And then it was kind of like a muggy, dense heat that kind of came in.
Within seconds, day turned to night as fire engulfed the town and Jasper Park Lodge structures.
There's a bunch of buildings burning all of a sudden.
Firefighters faced more flames in 6 hours than in their entire careers.
There's no fire department in the world that could stop that.
I need Sean that crew here more.
Like right there.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
You can feel the warm air coming from
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like,
Holy shit.
look at this, guys.
At some times it was definitely absolute chaos.
Veteran firefighter Greg Van Tighem, with 40 years of service, spent the day putting up sprinklers at JPL, cutting grass and moving combustible materials, playing a vital role in helping to save the iconic landmark.
Say a roof catches fire and you get water on it, you think you got it. Well, then the next building's on fire. So you go to that and then you look back and that first one's on fire again, and then two more down the block are on fire.
Crews were desperately searching for water. These sprinklers along Bonhomme Street saved an entire block of homes. But within just 4 hours, 2 hotels, 1 hostel, 2 gas stations, 4 apartment blocks, 2 churches, hundreds of homes and vehicles, and multiple businesses were burning. And that's not including garages, trees, and entire stretches of vegetation.
The Cabin Creek subdivision, it was gone in 4 hours. I mean, that's a lot of homes. We had plans in place, we practiced, we trained, but honest to God, never thought it would happen. Now it's happened, yeah, it kind of leaves a big hole. It's like, how could this have gone so wrong?
In total, 358 structures were destroyed by fire. This photo was taken around 8 p.m. as fire crews were trying to save the seniors' residence, one of many buildings in the direct path of the flames.
We tried to put out small fires. We would try to put out eaves. I put out some roofs. You'd come back, it'd be back on fire again. It was deflating. It was frustrating. I ran up the street and my neighbor's house was catching mine on fire. So my house was fully standing. Their house was completely engulfed and I could see the flames licking my bedroom wall. I watched it basically catch on fire. I didn't stick around. It was so hot.
A third of Jasper wiped out overnight. Backhoes showed up at 10 o'clock and were tearing down buildings to create a fire break downtown to save critical infrastructure. Here, at 2 a.m., 2 firefighters share a quiet moment standing in the embers.
They saved 2/3 of the town, which is amazing. Like Jasper, I didn't think there was going to be anything left the next day. It was that bad.
One firefighter who asked not to appear on camera says there were no more than 40 firefighters on the ground and 9 fire trucks until at least 10 p.m. that night. Typically, fire services in cities like Edmonton would have a minimum of 3 trucks and 12 firefighters for 1 structure fire.
There was help coming, and there was help requested. I know that for a fact. Could they have used more help? Damn right. I mean, yeah, because I think initially, on the day of the fire, it happened pretty quick. Why they didn't get as much help as they should have had the day of the fire. I can't speak to that.
But even if more crews had arrived earlier, there wasn't enough water to fight the flames. There's only so much in the hydrant water main, and the 400-barrel backup system of oil patch water tanks were not full before the fire arrived, according to a fire official.
People just need to question more and understand, and maybe question why there's not a lot of transparency when it comes to this fire.
The municipality commissioned a review of the wildfire. The report praised the unified command between Parks Canada and Jasper, but also criticized the province. It states jurisdictional overlap with Alberta created political challenges that disrupted the focus of incident commanders.
This was a federal fire. It took place in a federal park, and it was a federal Parks Canada response. We stayed on standby awaiting their request for supply and support, which they gave to us, or which they ultimately did end up asking us to do, and we moved into unified command only after the fire had breached Jasper and burnt down 1/3 of it. I wish that they had realized that they needed to ask for unified command faster, because we were not asked for support until after the town burned down. So whatever it is that they are trying to do to deflect blame, I'm not impressed with it. Pointing fingers at others when they should be looking at what they can do to improve their own response would have been a far better outcome.
Both Parks Canada and the municipality declined requests for interviews. This is how the crown jewel of Canada stands 1 year later. Empty lots of dirt, RVs filling housing gaps, for sale signs popping up weekly. Residents still waiting, unable to rebuild what they lost.
It's not all rosy here right now. We just want to get our homes back.
Not a single home has been rebuilt yet in Jasper a year later. Residents ready to rebuild are caught in red tape and delays.
There's just nothing happening as far as getting the residents back into their homes. I can't sell my lot. I can't build on it. I'm paying a mortgage on it. I'm paying taxes on it. I'm trapped.
Retiree Gord Trenholm has been living in an RV at Whistler's campground along with at least 30 others. He's desperate to start rebuilding on Patricia Street, one of many blocks leveled by the fire.
I just can't get a building permit until that demolition permit has been closed with Parks Canada. So until the soil is basically pure, nothing's happening. We still don't have power in any of these areas.
Cleanup took months. Now, repeated soil testing is the new roadblock.
Then in May, they scraped those areas again and retested. And then we found out that the lead and copper is still in those areas. And then there was a big pause.
There's a process, but come on, it's a year later.
Well, it's just frustrating not having things not moving. So like when things come to a halt, that's when you try so hard to get your home started.
What would you say to the governments about this delay?
Well, if somebody wants to step in and help, that would be great rather than just talk about it. I just want to see it started, really. That would be a big win, seeing a foundation put in. In order to do all this, we need places for those contractors to live as well.
The toll isn't just financial, it's emotional. No welcome home in sight.
Well, don't plan to be away for 3 days. Plan on losing everything you own, because that's what happened.
If the build for them is going to take 5 years, well, they don't have 5 good years. In 5 years, they might be looking at a senior's home.
We just want to get our homes back. But that's our lives, right? So
there's so much hidden anger underneath.
Accountant Paul Height lost 40 years of files when his townhome burned, just 5 weeks after buying it.
It blew the bottom of the safe out. That's how hot the fire was. I've got clients for those 40 years or so. And so the only reason I'm even back there now is because I'm not sure where they would go.
His entire complex is still waiting to rebuild.
Soil tests come back. Sure enough, 2 of our units did have tested positive for asbestos. We're too scared to say anything. We're afraid that Parks Canada will take it out on us.
In July 2025, Parks Canada and the Canadian Red Cross announced $5 million in additional funding to support residents requiring soil testing and removal, stating this will ensure a swift, safe, and dignified path forward for those impacted. In the same statement, the federal government wrote that it has expedited reconstruction efforts through streamlined processes to make rebuilding as efficient as possible.
The reality is that there's no homes being built in a significant way in Jasper, and certainly nothing that has been completed a year later. So if the federal government did expedite the process, that's great. They need to expedite it more. We are missing another construction season to be able to help the people of Jasper get their homes rebuilt. That's very troubling. Winter's going to come very quick. This is a mountain community, of course, that is impacted by winter more than other places where you would build.
The province says it's ready to support Jasper, but claims federal red tape is holding back progress.
The reality is they don't usually build communities or build homes, so I can see why they're having those challenges, and they're continue to not move that red tape out of a way that could see things accelerate to the level they would need to. We've just seen lots of challenges to try to go through the bureaucracy that is created around the National Park Service, and that's the challenge that's got to get out of the way to be able to make sure people got their homes.
Temporary housing is now in place. Some families are settling into trailers, grateful, but still waiting.
After the fire, this is our 6th time moving with the family here and there, 6 times. To be honest, this is beautiful. This is really amazing. You can walk in the ground when you walk from the door. You have heating and you have cooling, everything, laundry inside. It's temporary. I heard 2 to 3 years you can leave or until all the housing are done.
When permanent housing begins is the burning question.
There's just stairways to heaven.
Becky Artiaga, owner of Earls in Jasper for 20 years, is worried about the town's future and holding onto its past.
Lots of friends have had to move away because they don't have businesses anymore. It's going to be years before they come back. Since the fire, it's just empty, vast dirt piles. I think in 5 years, it's going to look amazing. It's going to look beautiful in town. It's going to be a long time to get there, and I think once we finally get there, it's going to be a whole lot of new people we've never met before, and that's good too.
She sees the pain every day in friends and regulars.
We all choose to live here because of the quality of life, but if that quality of life isn't the same, what's the point of losing 2 or 3 years with your family for a high stress existence? Around Jasper, it's 30 kilometers of burnage going to Banff. It's shocking. If you do that drive, your heart stops.
It's a close-knit community. She even met the firefighter who saved her home.
I told him where I lived, and he's like, I was there. We saved your block. And he pointed to the guy beside him. He's like, he single-handedly saved your block because they stopped the fire because half of my block is burnt and the half is still there. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And they did an amazing job, and I'll be forever grateful.
The people here are full of heart, full of resilience.
This is Jasper. We're Rocky Mountain people. We don't give up easily.
But now, more than ever, you have to truly be in love with this town to stay.
You have to really want to live into Jasper to be able to do anything here. There's so many hoops that you have to jump with parks and permits. The land here is a 99-year lease, so we're essentially leasing property from the federal government.
The physical toll is still being measured. Some firefighters worry about long-term health risks from fighting the fire, often without proper respiratory protection.
And we weren't wearing breathing apparatus. It was just basically wildland gear. And that's kind of normal in these situations.
But the danger doesn't end when the smoke clears. Rebuilding is also about learning.
People are slow to learn. I don't think we learned enough from Slave Lake and Fort McMurray and all those other events. I think, it's time people wake up. We start really paying attention to the factors. I think building codes need to be changed. We need to have more non-combustible building materials.
New building codes are a start, eliminating flammable materials that once helped fires leap from home to home.
That's why I put all my efforts, or have been putting a lot of my efforts into FireSmart, because I really truly believe that if people would mitigate their own properties at a big scale, that these events wouldn't happen. In Jasper, we just did not have enough FireSmart properties. We had a lot, but not enough. And we also had a lot of combustible roofs, and we had a lot of wooden decks.
My yard's going to be different. I had a wooden fence around my property. It won't be wooden fence anymore. I had some fruit trees and stuff. They won't be there anymore. It'll be a fire smart yard.
Fire experts say it only takes one vulnerable home to jeopardize the whole street. Fire Smart doesn't work in isolation. It works as a community.
If the rest of that block or the block across the street has a bunch of firewood up against the house and juniper bushes and all these things, and if they start igniting, then it's unfortunate, but the Fire Smart properties are going to go too. There's responsibilities at every level. So right from the federal government down to the individual homeowner.
The next fire is not a question of if, it's when.
But it seems like every year we get one and it's like, oh, it can't be any worse. And same thing with Jasper. It's like, oh my God, how can it get worse than that? Well, it's still happening.
1 year later, the trauma lingers, not just in scorched soil or hollowed homes, but in health, memory, and the fight for something better.
Firefighters saw a lot of homes burn, and some of them saw their own homes burn. Some of them saw their friends' homes burn. But all of them saw homes burn that they were helpless and they weren't able to stop, just because of the sheer magnitude of the event. So obviously that's going to play on someone. I mean, that's not a normal thing to go through.
I think Jasper is still very fragile. The summer is traditionally a strong time, and I'm concerned about the upcoming winter, what will happen.
The Jasper wildfire was the second most expensive wildfire event in Canadian history, with insured damage estimated to be $1.23 billion. The question that remains is whether what happened here will lead to change or be forgotten until it happens again. Most in Jasper are still dealing with the aftermath physically, mentally, and in the uncertain steps of rebuilding. Beyond the policies, beyond the delays, it's the people who define Jasper. And for many, it's not just about rebuilding, it's about coming home.
The people that lived here are what made Jasper what it was. Can't wait to get back into my house and having friends over and having neighbors again.